It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi out there and welcome to the Forum on Eagle Television. The Forum's brought to you by HaysMed. Good to have you watching along because we have something fun coming up in our community, especially for kids, but I think adults can have fun with that as well. Our guest is Cathy Drabkin with Fort Hays State and the Symphony Orchestra.
That's
you
right.
kind of do a little bit of volunteer work at Fort Hays State to help with the symphony and do all of this?
Right. I play in the symphony as a cellist, but I also serve on the symphony's board as their sort of marketing director with a whole group of volunteers promoting music in our community.
Well, you and I were talking earlier as we went into this that the Hays Symphony Orchestra has been around since 1914.
Yes, one of the oldest symphonies in our state, and it's always been sort of a mixed group where it's been a combination of Fort Hays students and faculty and staff, and then community members as well, sort of a collaborative ensemble.
Well, you think back to 1914, and you and I weren't around at that point. At least I wasn't.
I wasn't.
When you look at that, what was it like back then when you look at, because obviously, you know, instruments were harder to come by.
Right,
and trying to find that sort of, 1914 was a lot time ago.
Yeah, it was a smaller group. I've seen some old black and white photos in some Fort Hays history, and it was definitely a smaller group. But, you know, violins, violas, trumpets, they all play the same 100 years ago as they do today, so, yeah.
And talented people like to play.
Right.
They like to do that, and I know you're part of that group. I want to talk about something that's coming up first, and we'll kind of come back to talk about the symphony, because I know the Hays Symphony has several things that are coming up. But first off, you have something fun called Firebird. What is that all about?
So this is a great event. This is actually the third year that we've done it. This is a children's Halloween concert. So on Sunday, October the 28th at Fort Hays, we will be performing the Firebird Suite, which is a musical composition by Igor Stravinsky. But it's a children's adaptation. So what we've done is we've commissioned a local playwright, Catherine Trishman, and she has written a drama that goes along with the music based on the Firebird folktales that are from Russia. And so there'll be local actors, both adults and kids, and dancers who are going to be performing this sort of drama while the symphony plays the music beforehand, or at the same time. So
well, that sounds like a lot of fun. When you talk about it kids related, how do you take something kind of that complicated and make it fun for kids? Because a lot of those things get kind of long, and maybe you know, do kids, can they stay interested in
They
that?
can. First of all, the music that we're doing is only about 25 minutes long, so we take into account that this is a kids audience. And then, of course, we've got this drama going on in front of the music. We've also incorporated a number of pre-concert activities, so kids can come early with their families and get their hands on trumpets and violins and play a flute. We call it our instrument petting zoo. And then we are doing crafts. So we're going to be making Firebird masks, and we are encouraging kids and their families, if they want, to come in their Halloween costumes, and there'll be a grand Halloween parade that goes around the campus before we start the show. So we're sort of incorporating music and theater and story and arts and crafts all into one afternoon of family fun.
Well, this sounds like great, because I know we had family at our house this weekend. We were talking about, what are you going to be for Halloween? What are you going to do? This puts more into it than just let's get dressed up and go get a bucket of candy kind of thing. It does. The program itself. Tell me about Firebird. What's the quick storyline?
All right, quick synopsis. So this is based on a series of Russian fairy tales, and in this, the setting is the old Russian forest and the magical realm of Koshchei the Immortal. Koshchei is an evil sorcerer, and he has taken his soul and locked it away in this golden egg and hidden it away so nobody can find it, and he is evil, of course. So he has bewitched all the forest animals and turned them into monsters, and he's captured a bunch of princesses and kept them under his control. So into this magical realm comes Prince Ivan, who is hunting.
He's the good guy.
He's the good guy. Yeah, you gotta have a good guy. Yeah. So he's a good guy. He's hunting, and his eye is caught by this beautiful, fiery, glowing bird, and so he goes tracing after her and captures her and is going to kill her. I guess hang her as a trophy on, back home. And she convinces him to spare her life in exchange for one of her magical magical feathers, which will allow him one wish. And so he takes the deal, and then he continues his exploration, runs into the bevy of princesses, and of course falls in love with one of them, tries to take her away, and then Koshai refuses and sends his monsters after him, and then he calls the Firebird with his magical wish and is able to defeat the
How fun. And so for kids and having local dance. Now, one of the things, you talk about local people.
Yes.
How much work goes into it? If, you know, if Jordan and I wanted to be dancers in there. Notice the way she laughs about that. If we want, but what would it take for practice to be ready for something like that?
Well, we try to keep it simple so that it's not overwhelming, because we are using young kids in the elementary school age range. So our princesses and our monsters are in the upper elementary school age. They'll be rehearsing all of October, 3 times a week to pull this off. We have our Firebird role is being danced by a 7th grader, Brooke Racky, who's quite accomplished and has won a lot of numerous awards. So she'll be coming in with that background already there. And then we've got a number of people just involved. Our director is Aaron Renard from Russell. Our choreographer is Alyssa Deschant, who runs Styles Dance Studio. Our costumer is the director of theater at Sterling College. So just a number of people who've been brought into the mix. A mix of professionals and total novices. Just
and volunteers like yourself. They're out here doing
I
these
mean,
sort of
40
things.
musicians on stage, so it'll be a quick everybody all together for a lot of fun.
That sounds like one of those things you go on your calendar and circle the 28th if kids are back in town, families back in town. But I'm guessing adults are going to love this just as much as kids.
They are. You know, this music that Stravinsky wrote back in 1910, he originally wrote it for a very long ballet, 2 hours plus. And over the years, the best sections have been pulled out for this suite that we're doing. And it's the time period that he was writing, it was very on the cusp of being modern music, and it's very atmospheric. So in the very beginning, you'll hear the double basses come in with their lowest notes and very dark and murky, sort of setting the scene for the forest. And then there's shimmering music that sounds sort of like a firebird floating in. And then there's this bombastic music where the firebird causes the monsters to dance uncontrollably so she can defeat them. I mean, there's lots of wonderful music that goes on. So even if a kid thinks they have outgrown fairy tales, they should be there for the music.
So a kid my age could still enjoy that just the same way.
That's right. In fact, there's one point in the show that is very famous. Sort of, you know, in a scary movie, you'll have a jump out scene. Well, there's a one point in the music where that happens, and it's been known to cause people to scream out loud during performances. It's just one of those jump out scenes in the music. So even I, who have listened to the piece numerous times, end up jumping when I hear it. So.
Now, when you practice, and you're going to be a part of the musicians there, I believe. So when you do that, what does it take for you to prepare for this? You know, as a volunteer jumping in on this, you know, it's not something you do every day. What does it take for
Well, a good bit of practice. You know, we get our music 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and I like to have listened to it in advance a number of times. Just listening to music always lets you know where the hard parts are. So sometimes you might practice by the hard parts, and then everything else sort of flows together. So it just sort of, you know.
How fun. Well, it's going to be a great concert. And there's some good news about how you get to go to this concert. Take a break. We're going to come right back, and then we're going to talk about how you can find your way into this great concert on the 28th of October. Back with more after this.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.
Eagle Communications is your ultimate business partner. We provide business class phone with customizable features and fast, reliable internet. Your knowledgeable team at Technology Solutions has a broad base of IT services to meet your needs. Let the experts at Marketing Solutions get your message to the right people on the best platforms. The only piece missing is your business. Call Eagle Communications today at 877-61-EAGLE.
Hi everyone, this is Gerard Welbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. We record it over the noon hours Mondays at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes, and play back at 6 o'clock Monday nights on Tiger Radio Mix 103. You can also catch it on Eagle TV's channel 14 and 614, Tuesday and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and always on HayesPost.com. So join us for Tiger Talk over the noon hour Mondays at Old Chicago.
Welcome back to our forum here on Eagle TV. Our guest is Cathy Drabkin. And just a thought, this is a great program coming up on the 28th of October. If you have any ideas, some things coming up in the future you'd like to get here on the forum, let us know. You can find me at gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. You can also go online on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. You can also go to ECTV Forum on Facebook, and leave us a note there. We'd love to have your program, talk about it, talk to your guests, talk about your performers, talk about those things coming up in our community. Again, our guest, Cathy Drabkin, and she is a volunteer working with the Hayes Symphony and coming up with a great program called Firebird that's going to be on the 28th of October. Time of that concert, when is it?
3 o'clock. The pre-concert activities where kids can get their hands on instruments and whatnot.
I like
started.
that, the petting zoo
zoo
for instruments,
right.
so you can actually put your hands on a clarinet, put
right.
your hands
Absolutely,
on a big
yeah.
cello.
Right, right. That starts at 2,
okay.
And then the show starts, the music starts at 3.
And so it would be over then by 4
yeah,
4:30?
at the latest.
So it's a couple hours of that fun with instruments,
right.
kids getting them
arts
involved.
and crafts, and we're even giving away free trick-or-treat bags to the first 300 kids. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a great afternoon, 28th of October. How do you get in? Does it take a ticket? What does it take?
It takes a ticket, but it's a free concert. So we just need the tickets to know who's coming and how many to plan on. You go to haysymphony.org, which is our website, and you just click on the link that shows a beautiful picture of the Firebird that's on our publicity, and register for tickets.
So you
That'll
register how many people you're going to have, what you're going to do, and then you're in. Do you get a number or a code?
You get you can print them off, or there'll be a list that we have at the show as well.
Now, you're a volunteer, but somebody has to be helping underwrite this.
Oh, absolutely. We couldn't have done this without the Dane G. Hansen Foundation and the Heartland Community Foundation that gave us a very significant grant to make this possible. We've also had support from the Hayes Symphony Guild, from Keith and Sandra Gottschalk, who are funding the trick-or-treat bags, Redeem Designs, McDonald's. It's just a wonderful...
It's a Hayes community
It's
again.
a Hayes community list of people who step up and make things possible here.
Well, Cathy, thank you for being a volunteer to help make this happen. It sounds like a wonderful day. If you're in town, if you're close, the 28th of October, 2 o'clock, the fun pregame starts, so to speak, where you get to do the fun stuff, including a mask, right?
Right. A Firebird mask.
A Firebird mask. So you get one of those. And before the actual concert itself, the show starts at 3 o'clock, will last about a little less than an hour. So fun for kids, fun for adults. Hope you have a chance to be there. Cathy, thanks for being on our program today. Thanks to you for watching the forum here on Eagle Television. It's brought to you by Hayes Med and by Eagle Communications, our community connected.